Why always him? Mario Balotelli has appeared in more news headlines than he probably has goals scored in his career, and Balotelli has scored a lot of goals. But the major reasons for his popularity in the media have revolved around some troublesome controversies and falling out with colleagues and managers, one of whom was Jose Mourinho during their time together at the San Siro. Both were extremely talented in terms of the job they had to do, but at the same time had some of the biggest egos in football. They were bound to clash from the get-go. Balotelli is one of the rare footballers to have decoded Mourinho's management style to its core, or so he claims. After playing for the Special One for 2 years at Inter from 2008 to 2010, the striker opened up about their rocky relationship many years later. He explained how Mourinho as a manager was not an easy person to deal with a lot of times. The Italian striker went on to praise the manager's charismatic and competitive traits, but then added a disclaimer saying Mourinho has never been a coach with a great stylistic game plan. He relies on charisma and malice over tactics. Mourinho loved Mario and always believed in his raw talent, but he could never channel that talent into making him consistently show up. No one could make Balotelli follow their instructions to the point. He was his own man and liked to display that on the pitch from time to time. We could spend hours telling you stories about the two from their Inter days, but the focus today is only on the golden child of football who used to be compared to Messi and Ronaldo in terms of his footballing ability. He used to make the extraordinary look effortless, but the high hopes everyone had for his future would never be truly materialized. He could have become an all-time great footballer, but there were problems beyond the pitch that didn't let him. Now, what were these problems? How good was he on his best days? And why should the term potential in football be always taken with a pinch of salt? These are the questions we're going to answer today. This is the story of one of the greatest prodigies in football who only reached a fraction of his true potential. Mario was born in 1990 in Italy. His parents were Ghanaian immigrants who struggled financially. When he was just 2, Mario was placed in foster care with the Balotelli family, who eventually became his legal guardians. As a youth player, he stood out from the rest of the pack with his outrageous skills. He joined Lumesane, a small Italian club, and made his first team debut at just 15 years old. Scouts in Italy quickly took notice. In 2006, Inter signed the teenager, and at the age of 16, Mario was already being labelled as a future star. He had strength, pace, and technical ability well beyond his years. In 2008, he scored twice against Juventus in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals, showcasing his potential to the footballing world. People began to wonder out loud, is this the next big thing in football? He had all the ingredients to become one of the best. Balotelli broke into Inter's first team under Roberto Mancini. He was just 17 when he made his Serie A debut in December 2007. And in the 2007-8 season, he helped Inter win the league title, becoming one of the youngest players to win a Scudetto. But his career there was not without challenges. Reports of poor attitude and a lack of discipline began surfacing early on. The striker was often accused of being immature and refusing to follow team instructions. Mourinho came to Inter in 2008 and was given the opportunity to develop one of the brightest wonder kids in the world. It turned out to be one of the biggest challenges of his entire career. Mourinho's funniest story about Mario involves the Champions League match against Ruben Kazan in 2009. All of the other strikers were injured, so the manager had no choice but to start Balotelli. The striker got a yellow card in the first half, and the last thing Mourinho wanted was for his only available centre forward to get suspended. At half-time, he spent 14 of the 15 available minutes talking to the young man on a yellow. He said, "Mario, don't get a yellow. Don't argue with the referee." You can probably guess where this is heading. He did get a second yellow in the second half. The funniest part is that it happened just a minute after the half started. The story is very comical, but also highlights one of Balotelli's key issues throughout his career: his inability to control his impulses in crucial moments. Balotelli faced severe racism throughout his career, especially in Italy. A lot of Italian fans back then couldn't fathom a young player on the rise whose skin tone didn't match their own. Opposing fans would taunt him with monkey chants and throw bananas on the field. During his time at Inter, Juventus fans were banned from attending games after racially abusing him. Balotelli often spoke out about the abuse, but it very clearly took a toll on him. In a 2013 interview, he said, "I don't forgive racism. I don't forgive what people say or do to hurt others because of their color." While his struggles with racism continued through many years, it added to the long list of challenges he faced in building a stable career. Some of these challenges came from his own undoings too, though. He had an immature streak that would spill over on the pitch as well. He had problems with sticking to the manager's game plan and would easily lose focus during a match. Mourinho knew this very well, which is why he said, with Mario, it's impossible to work hard for 90 minutes. You just hope for 45 good ones. He was a master of provocation, and that would be a great player to have in your team, except that he didn't just provoke opponents. He would also get into it with his teammates and fans. During his playing days for Inter, he once appeared on live TV wearing an AC Milan jersey, which was the easiest way to alienate fans. At City, he was involved in fights during training and had an attitude that didn't sit well with many of his managers. Guardiola summed it up by saying that he has incredible talent, but doesn't take football seriously enough. In 2010, he reunited with Mancini at Manchester City after playing under him at Inter previously. He went for a whopping €29.5 million back then. He showed glimpses of his brilliance at his new club. Right after his move to England, he won the Golden Boy Award, which is given to Europe's best young player. The merit for the award mostly came from his time at Inter, but it was the perfect start to his new life. One of his career highlights came in the 2011 FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United, where City won 1-0. After that match, Balotelli celebrated in front of the United fans, which didn't sit well with the players. It made Rio Ferdinand as mad as you'd ever seen him. He had to be held back from jumping down Mario's throat. In the 2011-12 season, Balotelli played a key role in helping City win their first league title in 44 years. His iconic "Why Always Me" celebration after scoring against United became a pop culture moment. Throughout his Premier League career, he only ever got one assist. Just one. That was Aguero's iconic title-winning goal against QPR, and it ensured his place in City's history books. But for every moment of brilliance, there was a controversy. He was sent off 4 times in his 2.5 years at City. His off-field antics, like setting off fireworks in his bathroom and crashing his car, became tabloid fodder. But his performances for the Italian national team were another reminder of his talent. His crowning moment came at Euro 2012, where he scored twice against Germany in the semi-finals. His second goal, a thunderous strike, was celebrated with that iconic pose: shirt off, arms flexed, and an emotionless face. Italy eventually lost to Spain in the final, but Balotelli finished as one of the tournament's top scorers. For a brief period, he seemed destined for greatness. In January 2013, he moved to AC Milan for €20 million. He started well, scoring 12 goals in his first 13 games, but consistency remained an issue. Milan fans very quickly grew frustrated with his lack of work rate and overall discipline. In 2014, he then joined Liverpool for the same price tag. This move marked the true beginning of his decline. He scored just 1 league goal in his only season at Anfield. After being loaned back to Milan and later joining Nice on a free transfer, his career never regained momentum. Subsequent moves to Marseille, Brescia, Monza, Adana Demirspor, FC Sion, and Genoa followed. Each transfer promised a fresh start, but none delivered lasting success. So why didn't he fulfill his potential? Well, Balotelli's career is a cautionary tale. While players like Messi and Ronaldo became legends through hard work, discipline, and focus, Balotelli's attitude often held him back. His immaturity, combined with the external pressures of racism and overall media scrutiny, made it very difficult for him to focus on football. His refusal to adapt to the demands of top-level football cost him the chance to reach his potential. This is not a one-off tale in football, though. In fact, It's everywhere to see for those who notice it. Think about Dele Alli and his fall from grace. Let's look at the parallels in their stories. Balotelli's story is very similar to Dele Alli's, another player who showed immense promise but struggled to maintain his level. Both players face criticism for their lack of focus and overall commitment. Ali, exactly like Balotelli, became more known for his off-field distractions than his on-field contributions. In contrast, players like Messi and Ronaldo, who represent the ceiling of football ability, stayed at the top by prioritizing discipline and hard work. Their stories highlight the importance of mentality in achieving greatness in this sport. Mario's career reminds us that talent alone isn't enough. Discipline, attitude, and a willingness to learn are just as important. While he gave us unforgettable moments, he remains a strong symbol of unfulfilled potential. Young players entering the game can learn from his story. Football isn't just about skill. It's about focus, resilience, and the ability to rise above challenges. Balotelli's journey is a bittersweet reminder of what could have been. There are countless such examples in football, like Pato, Adriano, and Wilshere, who never reached their potential. Can you think of anyone whose career trajectory is heading the same way in football today? How about Ansu Fati, for instance? Let us know your thoughts below.